Yo, what up? It's AaroniMoses, and this video is about enhancing your chants, your vibrations, your affirmations, even. I'm gonna be giving you specific places to place these vibrations, chants, and affirmations in order to empower them, in order to make them more effective, in order to make them strong. The fuck are you doing? In order to make them stronger, more effective, and 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 work a lot better. Now for this, I am going to give you the information. I'm going to give you the what and the how. But it's up to you totally to do research on these things. I'm going to explain a couple of them, but not in great detail because there's a lot of information that I want to give you. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to give you is you need to learn about the brain. Apparently there's some, I forget, you have to go on Dr. Pillai's page, Pillai, I think, or AI, one of those two. But he discusses where, I think it was Nepalese or some kind of monks or priests that he studied with, said that they chant and they affirm into specific parts of their brain. But when practicing chanting, he recommends that you pretty much focus on the midbrain, but that's not the only part of your brain. So definitely, like if you do a money affirmation, you should find the parts of the brain that deal with money, maybe even decision making and mood, okay, and then direct that sound to that specific part of your brain. Now he has a Shrimbrazi chant session where you call in and it's muted and he and another woman lead a chant and it's pretty fucking cool. I did it for the first time yesterday. It's Fridays, 8 o'clock Central, every Friday. And I will put that, excuse me, I'll put that information in the description. But what they did was, they led a meditation, they led the chant with a woman saying, okay, now focus on your left brain, focus on your right brain. And then, the significance of that, we all know one side is logical, one side's creative. And when you put them together, that is basically the God chi, the God energy. So that is definitely the reason for that. I mean, you use both sides of your brain, so it's needed. Alright? So the second thing that I want to give you is using the reptilian brain. Directing your sounds. I'm just going to call them sounds. Directing your sounds into the reptilian brain. Why? Because when incidents occur and whatever side is predominant that you use, that you think with, if that part is confused or does not know how to respond, it goes to the other side. So if you're usually a left brain thinker and you're confused, the thought goes to the other side. Now, if you're still confused, or if it's still something that cannot be solved or comprehended in that right brain, it automatically goes to reptilian brain. The reptilian brain sorts out the information and then distributes it accordingly, hopefully healthily, to each side. Maybe 20% left, 80% right, 80% left, 20% right, and that's what happens. So that's your water filter. That's the liver of your brain. That's definitely not the liver of your brain, but in that situation, it totally is. Alright, or maybe the lungs, I don't know. A good analogy for that. So next, this is less physical, this is more spiritual, but using your eye pyramids. What is your eye pyramids? Your eye pyramids are exactly what it sounds like. Your third eye, your right eye, and your left eye, creating a pyramid. creating a pyramid that's about an inch and a half from your, is that an inch? Something like a inch and a half, 2 inches from your face. If you feel the energy between your eyes and connect them to your third eye, you should program that, because it totally makes a pyramid. Program that with your affirmations and with your sounds. So next, use your hair. Use your hair. AaroniMoses just cleaned myself up a little bit, but it is detrimental. You're not supposed to cut your hair, okay? I have Indian in my blood, from India, from Calcutta, actually. I grow a unibrow, but sometimes I cut it. Sometimes I do, sometimes I let it grow, okay? I had a huge problem with it, of course, when I was going through puberty, and, you know, I'm not really self-conscious about it now because I know what's up. But the mustache, the beard, the hair, the dreads, the tentacles, you know, that's why everybody's acting crazy, because they don't have afros anymore. They have fucking tentacles, and they're picking up all this information they don't need to be picking up, and things are telling them to do bad things. Nah, I'm just kidding. People with long eyelashes, don't cut your fucking hair. I mean, that'd be hypocritical. If you don't have a job, if you don't have a YouTube channel, if you don't have a lot of women that require you to be clean, don't cut your fucking hair, bro. Don't cut your hair. You know, I'm a very hairy person. The hair on my face grows up to, you see this line on my, that's where the hair stops on my face, okay? If I don't cut my face for like, I'll say a good month, I will have hair up to my cheekbone on both sides. My hair grows like this. It comes out like that. It does grow, well, it doesn't grow on this line, but it grows to this line. I have hair on my nose. My mustache doesn't connect to my beard yet. The hair comes down like every man to like my Adam's apple. I don't have hair on my chest. I don't have hair on my back, but I have a very hairy nose. But you can program your hair, okay? Your hair is pretty much like little crown chakras. Basically, they're little antennas. They're little, I think an antenna would be the best analogy for the hair. But if you think about the significance of a black person's hair, a black person's hair is the texture that it is because that is the original form of hair. The original use of hair was to absorb the sunlight. A coil, it's to absorb the sunlight, touch your scalp with it, touch your skin with it, and then redirect it out. Why do you think that is? Because your hair is supposed to be pretty much like a stone. Okay, your hair, a black person's hair is the equivalent to a pyramid. That's exactly what it is. A pyramid or maybe copper or gold. A black person's hair is definitely, if it would be any stone, it would be gold. If it would be any shape, it would be a pyramid, a triangle. Triangle is the strongest shape in the universe. All right. So use your hair. I'm not trying to be racist or I'm not pro-black. I'm pro-righteous. I don't care what you look like, but I'm not exactly sure how this would work for white people. I'm sure there's something you could work out. I'm sure white people with dreads have an advantage as opposed to white people who have long hair. But hair is hair, though. I mean, the way that you use it, hair is hair. It's made out of the same stuff. It's dead stuff coming out your body. But definitely, that's for you to research. I don't have that problem. My son's hair is it's really curly. It's not like mine, but you know. So next, programming each of your eyes. Why? Why do you program each of your eyes? I'm gonna give you this little information right here. Program your left eye and then the right eye. First your left and then your right, okay? Because the left, I think, is creative. You know what? I don't know that. So I'm not even gonna pretend like I do. But the reason that you program your eyes is because in the back of your eye, there is a piece, a cord that connects to a part of your brain. If that cord is disconnected from your brain, you will no longer have any perception of sight, of vision at all. If you go blind right now, you can still remember what your mom's face looks like. Okay? But if that is disconnected, there's a technique in, I don't remember which kind of martial art, but they snatch your fucking eye out and they do something and they disconnect that cord from your brain. And if they do that with both eyes, you won't have any perception of any color. Any color, you won't remember what you look like, and you're gonna be all fucked up. I'll just say it like that. But using that information, at least if you don't look anything else up, using that information, you need to determine why that is important for whatever sounds that you're using and making, okay? And the reasons that, I mean, I'm gonna give you the information, but it's really up to you. Number one, like I already said, to do the research on these different body parts and such, but to also use your awareness to separate what you need from what you don't. All right, so we'll go to the next one. The ears. The ears, because if you do the eyes, you definitely have to do the ears. And I know that you guys have been a little kid trying to be grown up and clean your fucking ears out with a Q-tip, and you went too deep, and you're like, oh shit. You need to feel that. You need to feel that sensation, not that sensation, but that part of your ear, not like this, but your inner ear inside of your head. All right. So your eardrum, or your inner ear, your lips and your mouth. And when you do this, not only your lips and your mouth, but if you're in a state of meditation, which you should always be when you're saying affirmations, you're in a state of meditation, you need to sense the breath. Even if you wanna affirm like this and see how far your breath comes out. But after a minute, I mean, if you're with the meditative shits, you can feel in the world outside of you where your breath is going. I want you to focus on the extent of where your breath is. Okay? I want you to even stress pushing the sounds out. I am always abundant. When I smile, I always multiply my what's the affirmation that I say? I love the life that I live, and I live the life that I love. What you're doing is you're pushing that's air magic. You're pushing your emotions, and you should of course feel a lot of emotion when you're doing affirmations. You're pushing the emotions, you're programming the air, and you have to mentally believe that you are using the air to send this information wherever you want to send it, whether that be to, one of the gods, whether that be to nature, whether that be to the cosmos, whether that be to your boss or your girlfriend or every person in the world. You just want to put it in the wind and let it carry and let it touch everybody who is feeling the same way, basically connecting with other people. Another thing, I'm going to throw this in there too. Smile when you do affirmations. Smile. Why? Because it is virtually impossible to feel negative, to feel sad when you're smiling, unless you have a mental illness and you have chemical imbalances. But when you smile, it automatically releases chemicals, okay, from your brain and such. Believing that other people, knowing, because there's 7 billion people in this world, believing that other people are doing this same exact affirmation, okay, knowing it, realizing, hey, somebody AaroniMoses. Somebody's making this type of video right now in the world for YouTube, for Vimeo, and for other platforms, okay? When I'm doing money rituals and meditations, somebody's doing that same thing. So you need to open your mind, open your energy to realize that you need to be searching for these people and energetically connecting with them, not necessarily vamping with them, on them, but conjoining your energy with them, realizing their awareness, and basically creating the sensation that you're in the same room with them, or that the whole world is dark or white, and you are the green light, they're a green light, this person in India is a green light, this person in Canada is a green light, this person in England is a green light, and you guys are all working together. Another thing that I want to give you is that when you do these affirmations, one visualization that you need to have is you need to meditate on you being somewhere where there's hella people and you are leading the meditation. You are leading the chant. You are leading the affirmation. You are leading the sound. Okay? If you, let's say if you want to be a rapper, if you've ever been on stage before, just feel that all these people showed up to hear you do this sound. If you're a football player, if you've ever been on any kind of field or court, have a stadium around you, have an arena around you, and have these tens of thousands of people saying this affirmation down to you. Okay, if you're a teacher, the biggest auditorium with tens of thousands of other teachers saying this with you. Okay, and it's, don't visualize a whole bunch of yous. Visualize, don't even look at anybody's faces specifically, because it's going to distract you. But what you do need to hear is, if you've ever been to church, or if you've ever been to a concert, or ever watched fucking TV before, and you heard a lot of people saying the same thing with different voices. Basically, it doesn't really matter, feminine and masculine voices. You need to hear both of them. That's going to activate your own energy, because the two types of vocals, especially if you've been to a Baptist fucking church, but you can hear the masculine on top of the feminine, the harmony, the disharmony, and the chaos among the clashing of these voices, which is all good, okay? You can look, if you want to glance, you can look and see that there's black, white, brown, Asian faces quickly, but I just pretty much like to make them look like they're blurs and they have their hands up and they just feel fucking good about it, and I just hear all these voices. But that will definitely enhance your affirmations. I might have to make this a second part, but I'm pretty sure I'll have time. So we have breath, and then visualize your whole head. Okay, vibrate these affirmations and these sounds into your whole head. What I like to do is I like to change everything from my neck up blue, electric blue, and then I affirm these affirmations or these sounds into the center of my brain, which would be close to the pineal gland or the sixth chakra, and then I put an aura around it. I put a bubble around it, and then I vibrate this, chant this sound into my head. Okay, so next we will be the physical heart, and I love doing this because it makes you more in tune with your breath. It makes your heart feel more real, and it makes it beat faster. Okay, if you have a good affirmation that is healing, then this is great for your heart. Okay, do research on having brain cells in your heart. Do research on, watch heart, I think it's called Heart Rate Frequency by Young Pharaoh. And then we have your left lungs and your right lungs, of course. Your lungs, I mean, just knowing the functionality of the lungs. A lot of people don't know what the lungs do. The lungs don't just give you air. The lungs clean your blood. Okay, it separates the good, it cleanses your blood. Okay, it oxygenizes your blood. All right, which is essential. Life is in the breath. All right, and then you know, left and right. And then another thing, I'm gonna make these. There's 4 more things. I can knock these 4 things out real quick. Okay, spices, spices and herbs. If you're doing money, if you're doing money rituals, or if you're doing a money affirmation, whatever affirmations you're using, I want you to look up the god associated with that, whether it's Hindu god, whether it's a Greek god, whether it's a whatever an Egyptian god. All of those gods have either a flower or a color or an herb or a spice associated with them. All of them do in all cultures, pretty much. So what you do is you take that herb, mix it, or whatever it is, you take that plant, mix it with water, consume it, and then what I want you to do is I want you to direct your affirmations to your stomach and your intestines, maybe even your throat and your mouth. Okay, mouth, throat, and then your stomach and then your intestines. Okay, what that's doing is it's empowering the materials as it goes into your blood. It puts the affirmations into your blood. It puts the affirmations from your blood into your DNA. Okay, and it makes it much more powerful. I learned that from Dr. Pillai. So, for example, Shreem Brazi. Shreem Brazi is a wealth, miracle, healing affirmation. Okay, Shreem Brazi is associated with the goddess. I forgot her name. I swear. I think it's Lakshmi. Whatever the case is, I want to get her name right because that's kind of disrespectful. Ooh, I closed it. That goddess's name, that goddess's plant spice is turmeric. Lakshmi, of course. Turmeric will be used in this situation. So you can use the water. Of course, before you do this, any affirmations or sounds, you should definitely be hydrated, drink water before, because the water will make it easier for the programs, for the sounds to travel throughout your body and make it real for you. Your testicles and your ovaries, of course, because they regulate your hormones and your biochemistry, and it could probably do some healing and balancing depending on what you're doing. And then the feet and the feet, the feet and the spine. There is a big relationship between the feet and the spine, and a lot of people neglect the feet. I always tell my girlfriend, do not buy these $25 ass Payless shoes. It's not that we can afford them. It's because she grew up fucking, I wouldn't even say poor. It's just, they just didn't spend money on clothes and shoes. And I keep telling her, you need to take care of your feet. I've never had a pair of shoes that was not name brand. Not trying to brag, I did not grow up rich by any fucking means. I probably had less money than her. But your feet and your spine. Your feet are very important. I don't even know why they're not considered an organ. But your feet are very important. You don't need to be buying $25, $10, $15 shoes. You need to be spending, not because they're bad for you and they have horrible support. I don't know. I wouldn't know that. If you're going to, definitely get some doctor shows, but at that point you might as well be spending $50 on some shoes. And if you spend $50 on some shoes, you might as well spend $120 something on some shoes and make them last. Okay, because if you treat them right, they will last for 10 years. I've had a pair, I just threw them away last year. Right before I moved, actually. I had a pair of Nikes that I've had since high school, since probably sophomore year. I didn't wear them for about 2 years, but they still lasted though. They still lasted. Do research on the relationship between your feet, your body temperature, your spine. Why do you think old people always say you need to put shoes on before you catch a cold? I'm like, catch a cold? What are you talking about? What are you really talking about? I got on a jacket. When it's cold outside, I still like to have my shoes off, even when it's snowing, because when I put my feet in the ground, on the grass, when it's freezing cold, my body heats itself up. I get this warm, beautiful sensation from the bottom of my feet, and my body just warms itself up. It's amazing. I don't know if that's spiritual. I don't know if that's my body going into survival mode. I don't know if that's an adrenal gland thing, but it definitely, I definitely recommend that you not do that, but do the research on it, okay? The relationships between the feet and the spine, the feet and the body temperature, the ears and the body temperature, and the spine, affirming your spine. It's really hard for me to affirm affirmations in my spine just because that is pretty much the space between the remote control and the TV. If the TV is the body and the remote controls the conscious mind, the spine would be the space in between it. Okay, in that analogy, the signal that's being, I mean, the spine carries all the signals, but I'm pretty sure you guys know what the spine does if you're watching this video. But maybe focus on each of the 33 vertebrae, the chakras. I'm not even going to get into chakras. We all know that you need to affirm and chant and direct sound into the chakras. But that's it. I want to end this with, I hope that I was a blessing to you. And give me feedback on this. I'm probably going to put this on both channels because this is very amazing information. I feel like this is a really good video. Very informative. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Every time I say informative, I always think I'm saying informal, but whatever. So yeah, it's AaroniMoses, Aaron motherfucking Moses, excuse me. And let me know, again, socialize with me, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, website, email. The best ways to get in contact with me are my Facebook, my email, and my website. And I want you guys to know, you watching this video, it's a blessing to me. I hope I was a blessing to you, like I already said. And life is in the breath. You just gotta breathe it in. That's all there. Peace.